Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode here at Tribal Trades, the daily show coming at you from the great state of Florida. One hell of a drug. And I do want to welcome you to the channel wherever you are tuning in from around the world. Thanks for watching. Today, everybody's asking the question, what is the market's next move, with one eye on the news and one eye on the charts? We're going to jump into that, take a look at the charts, look at the news, of course, and a whole bunch more. Before you do that, smash the like button. This does help get this channel out to more people, and it does help support the channel, as does your wonderful comments that you take the time to write. I take the time to read them and to respond. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Smash that subscribe button and you'll get these updates daily. So let's look at news that everybody is talking about, which is the Iran-Israel crisis that seems to was calming down yesterday. It seemed like a deal was imminent, and then there was an escalation with some tweets coming out, and this is one of the latest ones that have come out here, that there's no deal at the moment. It doesn't mean that this can't change. That has caused the crypto markets in particular to really spiral down. However, I do like this, and I did share this on Sunday's show. It was the one chart to rule them all show. If you did watch that, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. The chart that we must watch, which is the oil chart. And that currently was at about $71 just recently. We'll check at the moment. It said that despite the denial that there's no peace deal, oil prices are only up about 1.4%. And so the smart money says a deal is coming. So I would like to hear your thoughts. Is a deal coming there? Is there a little bit of an over-exaggeration or overreaction there? And what are we going to see happen there? So that'll be very interesting to see what shakes out. So let's look at the oil chart as well and see where that is at. We're going to look at the SPY. We're going to look at the Bitcoin chart as well. Let's start with the oil chart while we are talking about oil there. And as you can see, that this is the line in the sand, the Tribal Trades trend line, one line to rule them all. You can see that this trend line has been in place from all the way back in 2022. So this is a very, very strong trend line. And we came up and we tagged this trend line and rejected from it. And now we can see that after rejecting from it and coming down to around 68, it's now up to 71 there. However, that line in the sand is around $76. So if we were to see a weekly candle close above that, I'm starting to get into the danger zone. And then if we were to see another candle open and close in the following week there, then that could spell even further trouble. And you can see this candle there is a ways away from it, but it is looming there, dangerously looming there. Like I saw on the news event, it seems as though the smart money believe that a deal is actually imminent. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Now with the SPY, we've seen a little bit of a drop off here with the SPY, not a lot, down sitting around in pre-market trading at the moment. We were at 602. We've dropped just to 599. So we haven't seen a huge move to the downside. We obviously got in on the green dot, the Tribal Trades signals indicator, one indicator to rule them all. That gave us a beautiful entry on the SPY. We've yet to see any kind of a bearish reversal signal there. On the daily time frame, we have, however, seen that happen just a couple of days ago. And however, that gave a little bit of a reversal there. We did see a reversal here in the middle of May, and it did drop down to that 575 area before we saw another nice green reversal signal to allow us to ride that up. But I am mostly looking on the weekly. I mean, daily is fine. We see some ins and outs, and you can have some trades in and out there. But how's the weekly time frame I'll really be looking at for the SPY. And it was one of the trades that I gave yesterday in the Discord there, gave the trade at 600, gave the target at 605, absolutely crazy that got up to that level around under or just on 605 there. Absolutely smashed that trade there in the SPY for those who took that trade from the Tribal Trades Discord. A couple of the other trades that we took as well was AMZU, which is the Amazon 2x leverage long ETF there, and that trade been absolutely fantastic. And these trades aren't really designed to be held overnight, so get in them and then we look to get out before the market close. So again, that shot up to our target of 36. Absolutely nailed that one there. As you can see, entry was 34, and then our two targets the upside were 35 and 36. Of course, it's the 2x leverage ETF there. So that's great plays there in the Tribal Trades Discord. You can get access to the Tribal Trades Discord by clicking there's a description below this video. There's a link there. You might need to click the more button. That will pop out the description, and then you can get in on these plays. We've got new stock plays that have come out this morning, as well as crypto plays as well. And remember, the Tribal Trades Indicator is exclusive to the Tribal Trades Discord. That means in joining the Tribal Trades Discord, you get access to this indicator as a paid indicator. I looked across Crypto X and YouTube at all these different indicators that are out there, and they go for upwards to $500, $700 or $1,000 per year just for the indicator. And here's the deal: you get this indicator as part of your Tribal Trades subscription for less than a cup of coffee per day. Now remember, if you do, it's not if you join, you get it for life. If you leave the Tribal Trades Discord, the Tribal Trades Indicator will no longer be appearing in your trading view. It will literally disappear in your trading view. So it's intrinsically tied to the Tribal Trades Discord there. You get that indicator as part of the membership, as well as all these other incredible channels, including my favorite one, the Wins channel. And you can see here, fantastic win on one of the crypto plays there, cashed out on TP2. I always give a couple of take profit targets there to the upside. Another one there, some great alerts thanks to Tribal Trades there for the SUI play. Even in a down market, you can be making money. Here we go. This one was actually made to the upside long, $100 there. Easily pays the price of the Discord for a couple of months there with $100 win there for Muddy Kid there. There's the alert. I send out these signals and alerts. And then another one there, the upside. Again, the wins keep stacking in here. Here's another one here. This trade for $100 win up $1,000 for today. Headed to work. You can make $1,000 before you even go to work there. And you can see just taking the trades. There we go. April Parket, another one there. The target 200 in profit, and it's sold. Absolutely fantastic. And so it pays for itself. You think, oh, you can't afford the Discord. You can't afford not to be in the Discord because it pays for itself. And all right, let's have a quick look at the Bitcoin charts here. Of course, I want to have a look on the hourly time frame. And as you can see, the Tribal Trades Indicator would have got you out at the top before this move went to the downside, okay? So had you had the Tribal Trades Indicator, that would have given you a clear indication to get out. There was a quick buy signal there, but then quickly we got the orange triangle get out quick signal because the war, the escalation there happened, and now we're moving to the downside. But what you see here is a head and shoulders pattern on the hourly time frame there, okay? And so that technical target to the downside is going to be around about 104,000, which brings us down to the 50-day moving average, which is sitting at around 104,000, slowly moving up. It seems as though this is now broken below that, and this will be playing out. Of course, it can shoot back up. We might get, and this is why you have to have one eye on the charts and one eye on the news. This could just shoot straight back to the upside there. So we do have to keep an eye on that and keep an eye on the news. And just remember, if you've been watching my videos for the last week or so, we talked about the importance of staying above the 9 EMA. And of course, we did have a close above the 9 EMA. We just did close above the 9 EMA at 106,800, and the 9 EMA sitting at 106,400 or 106,500 at the moment. But we're below it now. We're below it. So we're now sneaking below the Tribal Trades trend line, and the probability of that head and shoulders on the hourly playing out to this 104,000. You see this Lux Algo order block there. We've got the 50-day moving average and the 50 EMA on the daily. So this is a likely destination without any change in the news today. And again, we're very much on this news cycle. If the news stays as it is, I would think likely probability is coming down to these areas here. However, if we get a change in news to the good, where we see that there is a peace deal on the horizon, then I think we'll see this head and shoulders invalidated and will shoot up. And of course, it just depends when this news breaks and what this news could possibly be. However, when Bitcoin is below this 9 EMA, it means the 9 EMA starts to curl. And when we've seen the 9 EMA cross below the 20 EMA, that has not necessarily been a good situation there. And so take you back to where this happened the last time it dropped under. There you go. The 9 crosses below the 20. Of course, it only happens because the price is below that level, and then off it went down. And of course, it tumbled all the way down to 74,000. Now, I'm not saying that we'll see that big of a drop. Of course, could see something a little bit more like this, where the 9 crossed below the 20 just momentarily, and we saw that drop down to 100K. But the longer it stays below, the deeper the move is going to be to the downside, of course, and the more that the 9 gets away from the 20. And you can see that the whole move up, the 9 had some quite nice distance away from the 20 EMA there. So that's very, very important that we see that happen. Let's have a look at a couple of other metrics that we like to keep an eye on, altcoins as well. And we're hanging in there. We did see a little bit of a red dot. That was the time to get out of altcoins. Then it was to get back in, but then this has been now being sold off, and we're coming back to that entry point. Of course, now if we lose this level here, 1.13 trillion, then we could continue to come down for the altcoin market. That would be extremely bearish. And so all eyes are to see if we can hold this $1.13 trillion level, and we'll quite certainly get another bearish indicator on the daily time frame. So the daily time frame is in the balance. There's a battle between the bulls and the bears there are really and I think it's just people waiting to see what the next news that is going to break. And if you look at USDT dominance, again, that was again starting to come down, and people were using the USDT to buy Bitcoin and buy altcoins, and now that's starting to push up again, similar to what we see in the altcoin market right now. It's kind of just waiting, and everybody's waiting to see what would happen. But if we do break above we've got there, the 200 EMA on the daily, that's going to be incredibly bullish for USDT and bearish for the crypto market on a whole there. Okay, well, that's all we have time for today. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. Keep an eye on those charts and keep an eye on the news. And until the next episode, or until I see you in the Discord, happy trading.